Today's like a super great day to just get out and do something. So while the girls are napping, I'm gonna be in there planting some of these seedlings. Come and join me.
Open up, you OPN. Bitch, you won't BBM. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN.
First we drink. This is my favorite soil for my raised beds. I actually use this stuff in all my containers too. I love it. Just gonna toss some more in here. This bed, I just have a sunflower and then those two jalapeno plants over there. So we got quite a few things at Home Depot today. They had all their summer, all their spring starters were gone, and they have all their summer stuff out. So they actually have these new organics Bonnie plants. I've never seen these before. This is a rosemary, and I have already started some from seed, but this one's already started. So I'm gonna add this guy into the shady part of my garden. So we'll just put her over here. And I'm kind of just gonna scatter these pepper plants in the extra space. Behind the jalapenos, I have some small seedlings. Those are Serrano Peppers, and then back here I have some ancho peppers. So this is kind of gonna be like a sweet and hot pepper bed. So we're gonna start off with this jalapeno plant, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and add her next to her other little sisters over there. And I started mulching yesterday because it was cool, but it's really hot today. And I was expecting all rain this week. Remember, we had like a 10-day weather. The forecast said rain for the next 10 days, but it's been raining, but it's also been a lot of sunshine. So last night I started mulching. I mulched my citrus trees, and I brought some over here to these jalapenos that I knew it was just going to be a really hot summer. But I didn't finish. So I never keep these pots on. Whenever these little like biodegradable pots come around them, I always take them off just so I can see what the roots look like. We're just gonna plop that guy on in there. And then I'll cover with mulch in the evening when it cools down some, but there's one. I just got one green bell pepper. This is a Bonnie green sweet pepper. And I have one spot next to these Serrano peppers. So I'm just gonna add her in right there. Try to perk her up a little bit. I tried my best to pick the best looking ones. A lot of them were suffering from heat, so I reached back like underneath the shelf for the ones that had a little bit of shade, and they were doing a lot better. The ones in the front suffered from like a lot of leaf curl. I'm gonna switch the tags out, but for now, just so I remember what they are, I'm gonna put those tags in there. And then I have some room here in this middle section. So I'm gonna do my red bell peppers right here. I have 3 of them, so maybe I'll just line them here. This has quickly became one of my favorite tools, the Bare Bones Hori Hori, the original. It's the classic one. And now I'm just gonna water them and let them chill out and get used to their new home. Even though the soil's already really wet, I just want to give them a little bit of encouragement to set their roots and just to let them know that it's safe here and they can thrive, that they're in great hands, and they'll have plenty of water, which is all they really want, right? Water and sunlight. Pop her up. She's really droopy. I'm gonna check back in with them in a couple hours just to see if they like their environment. And then I'm definitely gonna come back in this evening and mulch because this heat is a beast. You can see these little baby seedlings. Those are the serranos. And then these are the anchos. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this guy because I think she's overripe and I don't want anything to get to her before I do. So let me go grab my pruner shears and I'll be right back. I had some of this leftover pine lumber from some renovations that I have going on in my daughter's room. So one of the pieces was already mitered and I just kind of cornered this. These are 1x4 boards. Just cornered that off. I had an extra 1x5 that it was like perfect for that spot. I always say God has everything aligned for me, so everything always ends up working out. So that piece was perfect. I didn't even have to cut it. I didn't have to cut any of these actually. It just worked out pretty well. So it's kind of like a geometric shaped bed, which I thought adds a cool, different kind of aesthetic to the rest of what I have going on. So I just had these, I soaked these seeds for about 2 days, which is kind of alarming, I know, but they were able to absorb a lot of water before they started sprouting. So it's been 9 days since they went into soil and we have a couple inches of growth, some taller than the other, but more or less they're kind of growing in the same time frame. So they were all planted in the same soil. I don't know why the growth is different. It could just be the seeds that I bought, but this one is the beauty, so we put her at the top or in the front. This was gonna be a pepper bed, but I didn't want to cram all the peppers in here because I wanted them to get enough light, and since some of the pepper plants get tall, I didn't want them to shadow over a lot of the other plants. So I decided to mix this up, doing some companion planting. We have a beefsteak tomato plant there. Those are more pepper plants. Those are Serrano Peppers. These ones in the front are Jalapeno Peppers. And this one here has been suffering from a lot of, as you can see, leaf curl. And I think it has a magnesium or calcium deficiency. So I fed this guy a special mixture last night. Of course, I added in Epsom salt and some other secrets. But so I'm gonna give her a couple days and just see how she does, see if I need to feed her again. But as of right now, I mean, these are the same plants and you can see the significant difference in the two. So I'm a little worried about this guy, but we're gonna try to nurse her back and see how she does. And this dwarf sunflower is growing up really nice. The maturity date on these is 75 to 90 days. So I didn't realize that when I bought these seeds. So we're just gonna give her some time to do her thing. That's another small California Wonder. Oh no, this is a Bonnie. Okay, wait, this is a green sweet pepper. So this is the California Wonder one. And those three are red bell pepper plants, sweet pepper plants. I have two okras. I have two okras in there. These are some anchos there. I have another okra in the corner here. And then I have some tomatillo plants there. I don't know if that's a weed. I can't tell yet. Thinking that's some kind of weed. I don't know if that's tomatillo. This is Bermuda grass. I keep having to pick out of here. So I don't know if that's a tomatillo yet. That's definitely a tomatillo. So we're just gonna wait and see the similarities between the two. Back here, I did some okra and looks like it's suffering. I heard they could take a lot of heat, but they look like they're kind of wilting during the really hot peak hours of the day. I don't know if you remember when I did those cucumbers along the back of this bed, they were dying and they were really yellow and I didn't think that they were gonna survive, but look at them now. These ones never had an issue. I planted these after those, and as you can see, they're the same color. So those were completely yellow and brown, and now look at them, they're so beautiful. They're stunted in their growth. These ones are a lot taller and bigger, and I germinated these seeds after I germinated these, so you would think that these would be larger, but since their growth was stunted due to whatever they had going on, they're smaller, but they still look really good, so I'm not worried about them anymore. I did jam pack these in here just to see if I could, you know, make it work. And it's working. Some of them are smaller than others, so that could be cause to, you know, them being so close together. But I'm going to eventually add a trellis. Let me back up real quick. I'm gonna add a trellis in between those two posts so that when they start vining, they'll have something to latch onto. This is a little Napoli determinate tomato plant, and I've already harvested maybe 6 or 7 small little guys off of here, and they were really good. They have the same kind of flavor profile as Roma, really mild and soft. So I'm not gonna pick any more of these right now. I'm gonna let them ripen up a little more. Here's a beefsteak tomato plant that I have growing in a pot, and there's another. I started both of those from seed. These are Jade bush bean plants, all germinated the same day, all planted the same day. That guy is doing a lot better than these, and it could be the mixture that's in the bed. It wasn't a consistent mixture of composted horse manure and raised bed soil. It was I kind of just dumped it where I saw and then planted. I didn't really mix evenly, so that could be a cause of the difference size and growth. I'm pretty sure that's what happened here, but she's a beauty. Along the side over here, I have some felt pot containers growing some random stuff. Here's my rosemary. These two are jicama. They haven't really grown yet. I heard they're really tricky to grow, so we'll see. Here's some sage. Here's a bell pepper plant, green bell pepper. And I'm gonna do a whole nother video on this plant because this guy kind of trips me out. Here's some basil, looking really nice. And then I have some cucumbers growing in a pot. This is a squash plant I have growing in a 64-liter tote. And then over here we have our struggling watermelon and our Yukon Gold potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. This bed is kind of struggling. I have some onions. They're really small. I'm not even going to take you guys back there, but They're growing, they're just still really small. And then I tried to start some greens here, but something demolished them. And I just have one sunflower there and nothing else really. Oh, I'm sorry. I did transplant these little tomato persimmon plants. There they are. They're still super small. I'm just waiting on those guys to perk up. So we have a lot of growth going on. We have some fruiting going on the bell pepper plant and on the determinate tomato plant. So that was really encouraging to harvest those tomatoes. They tasted great. So with a really good flavor profile, I know that whatever I'm feeding them is a good balance and it's working for them, at least in the tomato plant. So that concludes this weekly garden tour video. I'm going to be giving you guys a weekly update every single week of the growth and the progress and what new additions and what things I've taken out or ripped out of the beds. So look forward to some more videos coming up in the near future, and I hope you guys are enjoying my content. If anybody is liking what they see, don't be afraid to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you guys will never miss any of my videos. And until next time, God bless and keep on growing.